Ever felt that sudden jolt of frustration when you're caught speechless in a common daily situation?
Oh, definitely.
Like your online order is stuck in limbo, or, you're trying to explain your symptoms to a doctor when you just feel terrible.
Right. You know what you need, but getting the words out clearly,
Yep.
that's the trick.
Exactly. So today we're diving deep into practical communication. It's not just about giving you the words, but equipping you with the strategy to confidently navigate these moments.
Yeah,
We've gathered insights from a stack of mini lessons and articles, and our mission really is to distill the most impactful phrases and, maybe more importantly, the thinking behind them.
that's right. Our focus isn't just on basic vocabulary, which, you might already know. It's more about the nuanced power dynamics of everyday English.
Power dynamics. Interesting.
Yeah, we're looking at how and when to use specific language, how to move from, say, confusion to clarity,
Yeah.
from being sort of passive, just receiving information, to being an active problem solver. It's really more than just knowing a word. It's about understanding its leverage, in real-world interactions.
Exactly. Think of this as your shortcut, turning those awkward fumbles into, hopefully, smooth, effective exchanges.
Mhm.
Okay, let's unpack this and get to some real-world situations. Starting with one I think we've all likely faced, when something you've ordered just doesn't show up.
Ah, yes, the delayed package headache.
Right. Let's jump straight into that. You've been tracking that exciting new gadget or book, maybe, and it just says delayed. Again.
Huh.
Our source material highlights Anna's experience. Her package was supposed to arrive days ago, and now the tracking repeatedly says delayed. And the kicker? She paid extra for fast shipping.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, she's had enough. She wants a refund. Now look, you know what delivery and refund mean, obviously, but the real question is, how do you articulate your frustration and your demand effectively?
Well, what's fascinating here isn't just knowing the word refund, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's understanding the context and the assertiveness behind using it.
Assertiveness, okay.
Yeah. Saying, I want a refund is direct, sure. But sometimes you need to sort of build up to it. You need to think about the company's policy on non-delivery of service.
Right.
Your leverage often comes from clearly stating that the service you paid for, in Anna's case, that expedited delivery, well, it wasn't rendered. It didn't happen.
So it's not just a flat demand. It's like building a small case first.
Exactly.
What are some strategic ways to phrase that then, especially if you're, talking to customer service?
Precisely. So instead of immediately hitting them with, I want a refund, you might start with phrases that establish the facts in your dissatisfaction.
Okay, like what?
Like, my order was guaranteed for date or speed, and the tracking shows it's been delayed for a number of days now. So something factual.
Got it. Lay out the problem first.
Yeah. Then you can transition. Maybe say something like, given the repeated delays and the fact I paid for expedited service, I'd like to understand the process for requesting a refund.
That sounds less confrontational.
It frames your request clearly, makes it about policy, and avoids being maybe too aggressive up front, which, honestly, can often lead to a quicker resolution.
That makes sense.
And another useful phrase, especially when you're looking at your screen or email, is my confirmation states, or the tracking currently says.
Oh, yeah. Why is that helpful?
It just ensures you and the representative are on the same page. You're both looking at the same information.
That's a crucial distinction. Yeah. It gives you space to sort of negotiate before maybe going straight to the nuclear option.
Right.
And what about those moments when you're just utterly exasperated, just fed up?
Well, a great expression for that, which conveys genuine surprise and annoyance, is, I can't believe this.
Huh. Yeah, I can see that.
It's versatile. You could say, I can't believe this, my phone battery died already. Or, I can't believe this rain, it's ruining our picnic.
Okay.
It just lets you voice that immediate emotional reaction naturally.
That sets a great tone for advocating for yourself. And speaking of things going missing and that immediate frustration, let's look at another scenario where clear, concise language is absolutely your best friend. Lost luggage at the airport.
Oh boy, yeah. You've just landed, you're tired, you're watching that baggage carousel spin. Empty.
The dread.
Your bag isn't there. We've all imagined this sinking feeling, right?
Yeah.
Your primary goal here is efficient information exchange.
Okay.
You need to navigate to the baggage claim desk, obviously, but what do you actually say to the airline staff?
I imagine it's about being clear without getting sort of bogged down in frantic details, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to sound panicked.
Absolutely. The most effective opening is simple. My luggage didn't arrive on the belt. Or maybe my bags didn't come out.
straightforward.
Yeah, that immediately conveys the problem.
Yeah.
Staff will almost certainly follow up with something like, could I see your baggage claim ticket?
Right, the little sticker thing.
Exactly. That ticket is your proof, so always have it readily accessible. Don't bury it in your wallet.
Good tip.
But what's often overlooked here is how to proactively ask about the process. Instead of just waiting for them to tell you.
You should ask.
Yeah, you can follow up with questions like, what's the typical procedure for filing a report? Or how long does it usually take to resolve a missing luggage claim?
Okay.
These questions show you're engaged, you're informed, you're taking it seriously.
So it's about moving beyond just stating the problem, like my bag's gone, to actively understanding the solution pathway.
Precisely.
What if they give you a time frame? Like, oh, it usually turns up in 24, 48 hours, but you're leaving the city sooner.
Ah, good question. That's where asking something like, okay, but what are my options if it's not found within that time frame? Or what happens if I'm moving on to another city? That becomes critical.
Planning ahead.
You're anticipating future needs. Also, a subtle but really powerful phrase for showing empathy, maybe when someone else is having an issue, or even to the customer service agent dealing with your inconvenience,
Yeah.
is, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, okay. How would you use that?
Well, if the agent says the system is slow, you could say, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Or even if they mention this happens often, wow, I'm sorry to hear that this happens frequently. It just shows you're listening. You're human.
That's a nice touch. Yeah. What's so powerful here is how just a few strategic phrases give you an immediate toolkit for problem solving. It turns a potentially chaotic moment into a more structured interaction where you feel a bit more in control.
Absolutely. Control and clarity.
Okay, moving from problem solving to more proactive planning. Let's talk about scheduling critical services. Sometimes you need something done quickly, like seeing a doctor when you're feeling really unwell. This isn't really a situation where you want to stumble over words, is it? Being clear and concise can directly impact your well-being here.
Precisely. Let's take John's situation from the materials. He's feeling very sick fever, terrible headache. He needs to make an appointment with Dr. Smith as soon as possible. Here, the nuance is in conveying that urgency without sounding, demanding, and also accurately describing his symptoms so the receptionist understands the severity.
So it's not just, I need to see the doctor. It's getting them to understand why it's urgent. What's the best approach there?
Well, your opening is pretty standard. I'd like to make an appointment to see Dr. Smith. Simple enough.
Okay.
But you should immediately follow it up with a concise explanation of your condition. Something like, I'm feeling very unwell, I'm experiencing a high fever and a severe headache, and I'd ideally like to be seen as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. That's the key phrase.
That phrase, as soon as possible, or ASP, is your key to conveying urgency respectfully. It's universally understood that something is a priority.
Right.
The receptionist might then offer a time and ask, does that work for you? Or perhaps, how does 3 p.m. sound? Yeah, that's their way of checking suitability. You can reply with a clear, yes, that works, or yes, thank you. Or if not, unfortunately, that time doesn't work for me. Is there perhaps anything earlier or later, depending?
That's a great strategy. It balances politeness with the necessary urgency. It shows you're not just demanding immediate attention, but you're explaining why it's necessary.
Exactly. And this kind of precision, this clarity, it extends to planning leisure, too, like booking a hotel.
Oh.
Here, you're not problem-solving a negative situation, but you're actively trying to create a positive experience.
Yeah.
And clarity is paramount to avoid any nasty surprises later.
So when booking a hotel, it's really about being thorough with your request up front and confirming expectations.
Absolutely. Let's imagine a guest wants to make a reservation. Maybe for 2 nights, say, from June 10th to June 12th. And crucially, they want to know if breakfast is included.
Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, but instead of just a simple, do you have rooms?
Yeah.
Which is okay, but maybe not the most effective.
That's bad.
The more effective approach might be, hi, I'd like to make a reservation for 2 nights, checking in on June 10th and checking out on the 12th. Do you have any rooms available during that period?
More specific.
Right. Once they confirm availability, then you introduce your specific questions. Great. And could you confirm if breakfast is included with that booking? Or maybe, are there any particular amenities included that I should be aware of?
I see. It's a structured approach. Get the main things sorted, then add the detail.
Exactly. It ensures all your critical details are addressed up front, rather than remembering halfway through giving your credit card details.
Makes sense. And what if the person you're speaking with, say the receptionist, needs a moment to look up information?
A A very common and polite phrase you'll hear, and you could definitely use it yourself too, is, let me check, or just one moment, let me check that for you.
Okay.
It's just a natural pause in the conversation while someone gathers information. It indicates they're actively working on your request. It implies diligence, really.
So whether it's for your health or your holiday, these kinds of phrases empower you to confidently arrange your schedule, ensure your needs are met, anticipating questions, clarifying details before they become problems.
That's the goal. Smooth interactions.
Okay, finally, let's look at a truly universal experience. One that can feel surprisingly daunting if you don't quite have the right words. Ordering food at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just about getting your meal right. It's about participating in a smooth, hopefully pleasant social exchange.
It's a fantastic daily scenario to kind of refine your communication strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So you walk in, first thing you need, a table.
Right.
A table for 2, please, or do you have a table for 3? Simple, effective.
Easy enough.
Then it's about navigating the menu. The power phrase here isn't just, can I see the menu, which is fine, but maybe, could I see the menu, please? Or perhaps, could you give it just a moment to look at the menu? Sounds a bit more polite.
The politeness gradient again. That could instead of can. That is a nice touch of deference, maybe.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a slightly softer request. And when you are ready to order, we hear I'll have a lot. Is that still the gold standard?
Good question.
I'll have is certainly natural, very common, perfectly okay. But to maybe elevate it slightly, consider, I'd like the grilled chicken and a side salad, please.
I'd like, instead of I'll have.
Again, the I'd like just adds a slightly more refined politeness. And if you have a specific request, like, could I get that without onions, please? Or is it possible to swap the fries for a salad? Using could I, or is it possible, shows you're not just ordering, but you're engaging with the options politely.
Right. Acknowledging it might be an extra step for them.
Exactly. And for those moments when you're finished, ready to pay up and leave, the quintessential phrase is, can I get the bill, please? Or could we have the check, please?
Direct, polite, universally understood.
Pretty much sums it up.
I love how these subtle shifts in phrasing, like can versus could or I'll have versus I'd like, can make such a difference in the feel of the interaction. What about when the waiter asks you something?
Ah, yeah. A very common question you'll hear, which shows attentiveness from them, is anything to drink? Or maybe, can I get you started with some drinks?
Okay.
That's concise, covers all beverage options. Or they might ask, are you ready to order? Just to prompt you.
Right.
Knowing these common questions helps you prepare your responses and just maintain a smooth flow to the whole thing. Less awkward pausing.
Exactly. So from strategically, demanding that refund for the lost package to confidently ordering a meal, these aren't just isolated phrases we've talked about. They're like linguistic building blocks, aren't they? They let you navigate the world around you with greater agency, greater comfort.
Absolutely.
It's really about taking control, expressing your needs clearly, and ensuring your experience is as positive as it can be.
Indeed. We've gone beyond merely defining words like delivery, refund, appointment, symptoms, baggage claim, reservation, menu, and bill.
Yeah.
We've really explored the strategic application of these words and the phrases that go with them. We've examined how politeness, assertiveness, clarity, how they all kind of mix together to transform everyday interactions.
It's not just speaking, it's communicating effectively.
And confidently. That's the key.
And that's really what we want for you, whether you're dealing with a frustrating delay or just trying to enjoy a nice meal out. These phrases, and maybe more importantly, the thinking behind them, they're your toolkit for more confident, capable communication.
Absolutely. So as you reflect on this deep dive, maybe consider this. How might mastering the nuance of these practical phrases and really understanding when and how to deploy them, how might that transform not just what you can actually do, but how empowered you feel navigating the sometimes complex details of your daily life? The language is just the start, really.
Yeah.
That confidence is the true reward.